Good Friday evening and welcome to the Ncwlife Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and another gorgeous one around north central Washington today as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi tower camera at Omi Gardens. And notice off in the distance a little bit of haze out there. We are currently under an air stagnation advisory, which will go all the way through the rest of this week and the weekend to Tuesday of next week. We're under that huge area of high pressure that creates a temperature inversion, and that traps some of those particulates at the surface. So you folks with maybe some health issues, be careful and just pay attention to what you're seeing outside over the next 4 or 5 days. But boy, what a day today, and that will continue at least for the meantime. High temperatures today all over the state, especially eastern Washington. Beautiful. We haven't reached a lot of these high temperatures yet, but we still could. Maybe 68 here in Wenatchee, 67 in Ellensburg. Folks in Chelan will reach about 63 degrees, and even nice over in the Spokane area at 64 degrees. But like most great things, it won't last, and we'll tell you how long these temperatures will stick around coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An agricultural business in Quincy has been ordered to pay $525,000 to settle claims of sexual harassment. 2 Central Washington University students were killed by gunshots last night in Ellensburg, and we'll bring you the latest poll results regarding the initiatives in the upcoming election. But first, we begin tonight. Chelan County Commissioner candidate Sean Smith finds himself answering questions about unpaid federal taxes as ballots for the November election reach voters. Earlier this week, it was reported that Smith owed almost $237,000 in business and personal federal taxes, and the IRS has placed liens on his Walkabout Grill restaurants in Wenatchee and Leavenworth. Smith said he's paid his business tax debt down to about $60,000. He also owes $133,000 in personal income taxes. He said people have mostly been understanding of his tax issues, and he went on to point the finger at his opponent Bob Boogert for the story getting out this late in the campaign.
I'm hearing about it because it's been brought to light, and the support that's come in, especially from the small business owners in the orchard industry and people that have had to make payrolls before, understand the struggle and understand the frustration. The other side of the support I've gotten is, how is this reflecting at this stage in the race when this stuff could have been put on the table and sorted through and opinions made and the reasons why given, as opposed to just right now when the ballots drop. I find that really interesting, that my opponent admits he's known about this for several months and chose not to give the opportunity for explanation. So I'm disappointed in that fact, but that's the way this race is running, and if they choose to operate that way, then that's their call, not mine.
Boogert, who said he's known about Smith's tax problems for months, flatly denied that he or anyone involved with his campaign had anything to do with the information getting out.
That is absolutely not the case. Yeah, that as I said, that I was aware of this back in May, and I had chosen not to make any kind of an issue out of it, to stay totally clear of it, and to run cleanly on my qualifications.
Smith said he did not reveal his tax situation himself because he believed he was acting responsibly in dealing with it as a businessman.
This is a business issue and it's a personal issue. I think it takes a lot of courage to even step up and put your head up out of the foxhole. And I knew that it could be an issue as the decision was being made to enter the race, but from the standpoint of we are taking care of our obligations, there is no running and hiding. There is no bobbing and weaving. We're accepting it, face on, and we've made huge gains on it. So we're not hiding anything, but we're just making the payments that the IRS has asked us to make on time, every time, staying current, which is a big job. It's tough enough staying current with the IRS, let alone making 4 paybacks, backups. And I'm being accused of stealing from my employees and stealing from the trust fund and breaking the law. But it's not that way. It is a choice that we made to make sure the paycheck's always clear. We've taken this on as an obligation as owners of a small business to say we will shoulder the weight of this additional debt.
Boogert, meanwhile, says he does not see Smith's tax problems as an issue in the campaign.
It really does not make a difference to me. All along, I've been really trying to focus on my qualifications and my values to the campaign here and to what I can provide as a county commission.
Smith said his restaurants are currently very successful in helping him resolve his tax debt. Horning Brothers LLC, an agricultural business in Quincy, has been ordered to pay $525,000 to settle claims of sexual harassment after 10 of its female employees were harassed by the company's foreman. Horning Brothers also agreed to distribute a sexual harassment policy in English and Spanish, provide a means for employees to report harassment in their primary language, and promptly investigate complaints. The case was brought by the Civil Rights Unit of the Washington Attorney General's Office and 5 farm worker women represented by Northwest Justice Project. 10 women allege they were sexually harassed by the foreman of Horning Brothers Union Packing Shed, Hermio Cruz, who was responsible to hire and supervise the company's seasonal employees. The Civil Rights Unit of the Washington Attorney General's Office investigated the sexual harassment allegations and identified additional women harassed by Cruz. Horning Brothers entered into a consent decree with the state of Washington and 5 of the farm worker women and will pay $525,000 in compensation and attorney fees. 2 Central Washington students, university students, were killed by gunshots Thursday night at about 9 o'clock. Ellensburg police say a 22-year-old male was apparently accidentally shot by a 21-year-old man who then died of a self-inflicted gunshot. There was no indication of foul play. Both victims, who have not been identified, were members of the Central Washington University ROTC program and were at a gathering of friends. Well, polling results released this week show Initiative 1639, which would impose sweeping new gun regulations in Washington state, is likely to pass in the November election. The Crosscut Elway poll of 400 registered voters done on October 4th through the 9th showed 59% in favor and 34% against I-1639. Among other things, the measure would raise the minimum age for buying a semi-automatic firearm from 18 to 21 years old and would impose enhanced background checks and a 10-day waiting period for buying such a gun. Initiative 1631, meanwhile, the so-called carbon tax, is polling much closer, with 50% in favor and 36% opposed. Initiative 1634, which would ban local taxes on grocery items, had only 31% support in the poll, with 51% against. The poll also showed Republican Dino Rossi with a 10-point lead over Democratic opponent Dr. Kim Schreier, 49% to 39% in the hotly contested race in the 8th Congressional District. Rossi received a big boost in the polling numbers during and after the hearings to confirm Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. The poll results were reported on the nonprofit news website crosscut.com. Coming up next, the firm hired by the Wenatchee School District to conduct a search for a new superintendent wants your input. Washington State Supreme Court has ruled that sentencing juvenile offenders to life without parole is unconstitutional. And Governor Jay Inslee approved the site certification agreement for the Columbia Solar Project in Kittitas County. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Evening News.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Eastern Washington. It's a great place to call home and a great time to own a home. It's the ideal place to lay down roots. for your family and your future. Gisa Credit Union thinks Eastern Washington is a great place to own a home, too. That's why we offer all kinds of home loans with personal attention every step of the way. We're your home. For home loans, we're Gisa Credit Union.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back. A question. Would you like to be more closely involved in who was eventually hired to replace Brian Flonis as Wenatchee School District's new superintendent? Well, next week is your opportunity. The firm hired by the district to conduct the search will be hosting some community meetings to receive your input.
Well, right now we're working with the consulting firm to set up community meetings starting next week. We also have an online survey that they've created and they've used across the board for national searches with other school districts. So we're in the process of communicating that out on their behalf, and then all these meetings will be facilitated by the representatives from HYA. They also, as Sarah mentioned, they have a portal that's just for our board where they're sharing information and will continue to do so once we get into more of the interview components of the search. So all of that information will be loaded for the board so that there's really, consistent communication. The other thing that's really nice about the firm we're working with is they do have a Northwest representative. Barbara Harris is our person here, and she's located out of Bellingham, so she's kind of in the neighborhood, which is nice. So she's able to get over here and communicates with us pretty regularly. So it's definitely a team effort, but they do have those mechanisms to make sure they're communicating regularly with the board and with us administrative staff.
District spokesperson Diana Haglund joined school board member Sarah Knox, who appeared on today's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley program. The search firm will facilitate the first community meeting next Tuesday, the 22nd, at the high school. The district also wants you to share your opinions in an online survey located on the district's website. Washington State Supreme Court has ruled sentencing juvenile offenders to life without parole is unconstitutional. In a 5-4 decision released yesterday, the state's highest court said sentencing juvenile offenders to life without parole or early release constitutes cruel punishment. The ruling was in connection with the case involving Brian Bassett, who was convicted of killing his mother, father, and younger brother in 1995 when he was 16. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The court's ruling upholds the earlier Court of Appeals decision to send Bassett's case to the trial court for resentencing. Well, in an announcement yesterday, Governor Jay Inslee approved the site certification agreement for the Columbia Solar Project in Kittitas County. The 5 facilities included in the Columbia Solar Power Project will be sited just outside of Ellensburg and would have a collective generating capacity of 25 megawatts. That's enough energy for approximately 5,000 homes. It will be among the first solar farms in Washington. That's located just off Highway 97 on a total of 200 acres. In his letter, Inslee acknowledged the concerns about visual impacts and the potential loss of agriculture land and said preserving rural landscapes and agricultural land is important. He said the issue is not taken lightly when considering the need and appropriateness of projects such as this, and said he believes the council has properly considered the project's consistency with local land use plans and ordinances. The cost of the solar project was not announced. You're watching the Ncwlife Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the Ncwlife Evening News. Stay with us.
Bob's Burgers and Brew in Wenatchee. Only the best.
Hey everyone, so today I'm tackling medical assistant ninja, trying to get that next level career. Man, this dead-end job is holding me back. Decision time, I'm going charter college. Now I'm a medical assistant student. Rocking it? Yeah, earned the President's Award. Score! Took my career to the next level. Hey, I can level up to medical assistant ninja, so can you. Get on it.
Sir, I pulled you over today to ask you one thing. Is it true that Apple Valley Honda has a free lifetime warranty on every new Honda?
Officer, I'm glad you asked. Our lifetime warranty comes free on all of our new Hondas. That means you won't have to pay a dime for any major expenses. That could save you thousands. And no, you do not have to service with us. It's a great peace of mind, officer.
Wow, my wife and I have wanted the new Accord. We'll see you this weekend.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Time now for NCW Life's Megan McPherson to fill us in on some of the events going on this weekend.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The American Red Cross and Confluence Health are holding a blood drive in the local Event Center at Pybus Public Market this Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. To register to donate blood or for additional information, contact redcrossblood.org. Have you ever wondered what the rest of the Wells House, the castle at Wenatchee Valley College, looks like? On Friday and Saturday, visitors are invited to come to an exclusive tour that includes floors usually restricted to the public. The Nooks and Crannies tour allows first-time visitors and those who have previously visited to see the new areas and hidden details while learning more about its history. Small group tours of up to 10 people will be conducted every hour on Friday from 1 to 4 and Saturday from 10 to 3. Tickets are $10 per person and $25 per family, and guests must be 10 years or older. Pre-registration is required. Illuminate Women's Conference is this Saturday at the Wenatchee Convention Center. This will be a day of motivation, empowerment, and pampering for the women in North Central Washington. Participants will hear from exceptional female speakers, enjoy some retail therapy, take time for themselves in the Taking Care of Me spa, get pumped up with DJ Manny, visualize their goals with an interactive vision board, and capture memories with a photo booth. Participants can extend the fun with a VIP experience. The Wenatchee Valley 23rd Annual Toy Ride is this Saturday starting at the Douglas County PUD. Join in for the annual parade to Walmart, where you can buy toys for kids benefiting Wenatchee Court-Appointed Special Advocates, or CASA. Afterwards, there will be a thank you Riders Burger Burn at Jack's Motorsports. All street legal motorcycles are welcome. Staging is at 9 a.m. and the parade starts at 10 a.m. sharp. And finally, the Chelan Chase is this Saturday from 9:30 a.m. to noon at Riverwalk Park in Chelan. This is a USATF course-certified 5K race, run, and walk. Proceeds benefit the Lake Chelan Community Hospital Mammography Department and the Wellness Place to provide mammograms at no cost to underinsured or uninsured patients, as well as support to North Central Washington cancer patients, including free wigs, nutritional supplements, help with lodging and travel, prescription assistance, and support groups. This event is open to runners, walkers, wheelchairs, strollers, families, and teams. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Time now for a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. And by all means, all of those events that Megan just mentioned, get out there and do this weekend. It's going to be gorgeous, and what a beautiful one today. 65 degrees so far, high temperature. We may raise that up a little bit later on today. 38 is where we started our day. 59 is our normal high. 40 our normal low. 75 is our record back in 1981. 25 cold degrees, our record low back in 1984. Sunrise this morning, 7:25, and the sun will set tonight at 6:05. Taking a look at our surface loop and jumping into the weekend for Saturday. Same as today, beautiful weather. In fact, will be a little bit warmer as that ridge of high pressure continues to strengthen over the Pacific Northwest. We'll see temperatures approaching 70 degrees this weekend. Area of low pressure is moving a little bit closer to us, though, and that will be a factor by next week. But don't let it worry you on Sunday. Beautiful and nice. Sunshine, light winds out there for Sunday. A few high clouds in extreme northwest Washington. All in all, it should be beautiful. And by the way, for football on Saturday, fantastic. Cougars, of course, game day down there in Pullman. On Monday, sunny and nice, but the clouds are moving a little bit closer, and that means a transition now to our rain and precipitation map, because we will begin to see it along the coast of Washington by Tuesday. That's from storm number 1 that's bringing a little bit of rain our way. It really won't affect us all that much, but this next storm that's moving in on Wednesday, it'll be Wednesday night, will bring us a 40% chance of rain, mainly in our evening hours on Wednesday, as that low continues to sag down from the Gulf of Alaska. Our best chance of rain, there you have it, on Thursday. A 50% chance of at least morning showers, and then we'll see mostly cloudy skies by Thursday afternoon, and it looks like that rain will continue right into next weekend. Let's take a look at your quick lube and tune forecast now. Overnight lows tonight, not as cold as we've seen them. 43, 69 your high Saturday. Look at that for Sunday, 70 degrees, 69 Monday, and then the storminess begins. A chance for rain Tuesday night and 64. Much cooler as we get into that 50% chance of rain on Thursday. High temperature then at only 59 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCW Life Evening News continues right after this.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you.
Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy finally Friday for the second time this season and 5th of the last 7 meetings. Wenatchee and Eastmont took 5 games to determine the winner in volleyball last night. And for the first of those 5, the Panthers were victorious. In an epic 2-hour, 20-minute battle at Wenatchee High School, Wenatchee fought off one comeback after another by Eastmont in the 5th and deciding game, winning the match 3-2. Wildcats came out on fire, winning the opening contest 25-20. Panthers got the early jump in Game 2, winning 26-24. Eastmont regained momentum in Game 3, winning 25-22. Then facing defeat, the Panthers survived a 10-minute in-game delay on a scoring/rotation glitch to come out on top 25-18. So once again, it would go down to the 1st to 15, 5th and deciding game. Wenatchee raced out to an early lead. It looked like they'd cruise to a victory, but then Eastmont came storming back to tie it and push it into extra points. I was alongside Leanne Branham for the exciting call last night on the NCW Life channel.
Here's a kill and a block. Nice job by Dexter to counter. Dexter gets it back. It skims off of a finger at the line. They reverse it. Here's the kill by Ream. It's in! Tied at 13! Up to White. Back to Dexter. Blocks. Ooh, they let that go.
Yeah,
I thought that was 4 hits on Wenatchee. Now, the little touch by Janae Wiggs. Touch of the net by Lauren Clark. It got over. Now they're going to set it up. Damon reverses it. There's Rhyme again going down the line. It's in! Could be game points. Damon, service, across, Wolf down, to White, to Dexter, falling down Vauchon. They scramble, they get it across. Back line it goes. White up front, and it's deep, and I think that may have been out. Vauchon scrambling for it, and we're tied again at 14. Service for Lily Dexter. Across, Vaughn is there. Now Vauchon, now Ream. Got it across to Dexter. White with the kill attempt at the net, and it's in! Dexter on the service. Across, Vaughn is there to Damon. Reverses it, and it's a point for Wenatchee, and the Panthers will win it 16-14. They come back.
With the win, Wenatchee and Eastmont tied for second in the Big Nine standings. Back to the Les Schwab scoreboard for other games around the region last night. Chelan blanked Cashmere. Brewster topped Manson. Waterville-Mansfield got a 3-0 win on the road at Oroville. Les Schwab scoreboard in soccer last night. Wow, what a difference a day makes. Wenatchee's been bumped out of first place in the Big Nine as the Panthers fell on the road in overtime at West Valley last night, 2-1. John Springer says Olivia Bowman got the lone goal for Wenatchee. Meanwhile, Jaden Brown scored the only goal for Eastmont. In the final 2 minutes of regulation, Wildcats edged Davis 1-0. So Eastmont moves into first place with 26 points. Wenatchee tied with Moses Lake, who blanked Sunnyside 7-0 at 24 points apiece. Other action, Cashmere topped Chelan, and Brewster was a 3-1 winner against Manson. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life channel, our featured game of the week has Eastmont hosting Eisenhower. Wildcats 3-0 in Big Nine play, 6-1 on the season. Cadets 3-4 overall, 1-2 in league play. Feature the second best offense in the conference. So what does Eastmont coach Michael Don expect tonight?
We don't know. Honestly, they've gone a week where they've thrown 10 passes, they've thrown 45 passes, they've thrown 39 passes. You really don't know what you're going to get. Running back, we do know the running back, we're going to get a heavy dose of the running back. He's averaging 30 carries a game. Has had some big games early in the year in their non-league schedule, but he's still been consistent. 30-some carries, about 100 and some yards every week, and they got a big senior laden offensive line, and so we expect a good match.
Pre-game coming up at 6:45 with Grant and yours truly here on the NCW Life channel. Wenatchee's on the road tonight in Sunnyside, trying to remain atop the Big Nine standings. We saw last week's game against Eastmont. The Grizzlies like to be aggressive up front defensively. Panther coach Scott Devereaux says he hopes that's the case tonight.
We've prepped a lot against picking up the blitz, and we've got some wrinkles in our offense that are going to help us. Some things that we have not shown all season. So I hope they blitz. And they're going to blitz and make some plays occasionally, but we have some things ready. So we are ready for them. They like to bring the both backers A and B gaps, and I hope they do.
Wenatchee led by sophomore quarterback Camden Sermon. He says there's no time to be looking at the standings. He feels the Panthers need to maintain a certain attitude.
Hungry and confident, not cocky. There's no reason for this team to be complacent with wins. Like I said last year, being 3-7, these guys have never beaten Sunnyside. They've never beaten Moses Lake. They've never beaten West Valley. There's a lot of things we have to do first before we can say we're league champs. We have 2 more big games. So just trying to keep it. We're hungry. We're hungry.
Wenatchee kicks off at Sunnyside 7 o'clock tonight. Also around the gridiron in north central Washington, Cashmere and College Place tee it up at 6 in Cashmere. Cascade hosting Okanagan with Shalana and Omak at 7. B football, Entiats at Odessa, while Waterville-Mansfield hosts Yakima Tribal. On the weekend prep schedule, we've got some soccer coming up tomorrow. Manson hosting Oroville, while Tonascott's at Chelan at 11. And the Wenatchee High School place for the Panthers hosting Walla Walla, Richland, Hanford starting at 11 a.m. For a little different something this weekend, Central Cascade Pop Warner cheerleaders are hosting the Inland Northwest Cheerapalooza Sunday at Eastmont High School. Over 100 cheerleaders aged 5 to 13 of age will compete Sunday starting at 10 a.m. This is the little ladies last week. During football, there'll be 6 divisions of competition for the young cheerleaders. A demonstration cheer by the Eastmont and Wenatchee High School squads all starts Sunday at 10 o'clock, Eastmont High School. There is a nominal fee to attend. And the Wenatchee Wild home this weekend against Merritt. We're out of time. If you want to see that final section of the tribute to Paul Allen, head to our website, ncwlife.com. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And yes, we are out of time. That's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz and News with Steve Hare. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value Localtel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.